Okay, let's have a quick analysis of the Forex market. We're going to look for a setup one on several different pairs, and we're going to look at the hourly chart and the daily chart on the left. So on the left, we'll have a daily chart, and on the right, we will have the hourly chart. I'll be looking for a peak of 3 followed by across a zero line to see if we can trade a setup one. So this one doesn't really have it. We go to the next one. Australian dollar today. But actually, last night it could have been traded from here. Let me actually bring the session breaks so that we could see where it ended. That's the session. Today was a setup 2 and a pullback. As you can see, this peak of AO and then dark bars, and you have this pullback here. So this was one entry here, the pullback, and this was another one. Sadly, I didn't take it. CAD yen, we have a 3 up, waiting for a 4 down. The daily chart has a level there. I've got a line there. Sync those charts, those drawings. Let's sync those drawings, sync it to all. So as you can see, so we'll see if it goes sideways tomorrow and then kind of sets off above there, creates a box, sideways box, and this area will come back to the zero line. So we'll wait for this. Euro Australian dollar. So this one has moved consistently twice in a row. Let me just actually have one chart. So after this, when price moved, there was a 3 down, and during the Asian session, this could have been taken over here. If we change the time frame for this, M30 would have produced a pretty good setup down there. But right now it's done a 3 and a 4, so we'll wait for a wave 4 sideways and see if it kind of goes like that, sideways, and then we look for a breakout. EuroCAD. EuroCAD was a setup today, could have been taken over here with target there. Yesterday was even a better setup. As you can see, there's this 3 down, 4 up, sideways. So about a day and a half, or actually half of this day, all of this day, and half of this day was a wave 4. Bounces against the purple. You go short here, and that was your target. If you were to trade that, it would be something like this. Your entry would be there, stop loss above the box, and your target point would be set based on target zone 1 concept, which you would start from start of wave 1 to this. So today it's hit the target zone 1, so you could have had your target zone target there, or you could have exited over here. If you allow your trades to run overnight, then it hit your target point today. Otherwise, you got out somewhere here, or you got out on the box trail. Okay, let me do some quick Elliott wave count on this. 1, 2, 3. This is the high of 4, and that's your 5. Okay, that's the quick 10-second Elliott wave. I'll do it on all the pairs. Okay, Euro, Swizzy. So we have the Euro going down, going into wave 4. We will see if it creates a box down there, and then we could have a trade afterwards in there. So this is a 3 down and 4 up. Quick Elliott wave is based on this. So we have a peak of wave 3. So we can call this as a 1 and a 2. This would be a 3. Somewhere over here is a 4, which will be followed by a 5 somewhere down there. Euro pound. Euro pound right now is in a 3 up. So what we want is tomorrow on M15 we could have a famous setup. So if it stays within this box and it goes sideways, we probably will get a breakout up there around Frankfurt Open. So on the M15 chart, it would look something like this. We would have the count would basically be, let's call this a 1 and a 2, that's a 3, probably somewhere here, or 4 will end, and then we will have our wave 5 up there. So we'll see if it creates a tight box overnight, and right about here, and this time here. So around here will be Frankfurt Open, and if it stayed sideways, we can take it long there. Right, next one is Euro Yen. Go to the hourly chart. So if we zoom out, so in TradingView, if you want to stay focused on this and zoom in and out, then bring your cursor and press Control and the mouse scroll forward and backward, then it stays in one point. Otherwise, it kind of moves around. So if you wanted to just focus on this bit and zoom in and out, Control and then mouse wheel back and forth kind of helps. So it's an 3 and a 4 is a longer 3 and 4. You can't count this on the hourly chart now because now you have too many candles. So if you look at it from here to here, we have 235 bars, whereas the quick Elliott wave is valid only up till 140 bars. So because this wave 3 is up there and then we have the 4 sideways and we have more than 240 bars, what we'll do is we will go to the 4-hour chart and do a wave analysis on that. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, we have the overall wave 3 and now we're in wave 4. In fact, you could be long there based on the this break of this box into the wave 5, but I would rather want to have a tighter box, something like something along these lines, right? So if it goes sideways and kind of creates a level above this level, we can go long. Let's have a quick look at the daily chart. So the daily chart actually, and I remember this very well, it's because it broke out this level, went up, and then we had a 2-3 candle pullback. This pullback failed, so after that we can only go long when it goes above this box. But after that we have these levels to contend. So if this was to basically clear those levels, any setup after that would be a lot of fun. It would be in a free zone. Anyway, so Euro, New Zealand. Was there something else on this? If you want me to do a quick Elliott wave analysis on the daily chart, it would be something like so. Not like so. So not very clear at the moment. Go to the weekly chart. Okay, so what I see on the weekly is a 1, 2, and a 3 and a 4. It's very confusing to me right now. But we can still say this is probably a 1 and a 2. I can't really call this as a 1, because that I think is a 3. Okay, so basically it's this. A 1, a 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So that's or some kind of an impulse wave, and now we have an ABC and wave 5 going up. So basically it's already in wave 5 up here. But if we do the count on this one, then it clearly shows that this is probably a 1, a 2, and this is 3 going on. Not very convinced about that, but we'll see. Euro, New Zealand. Am I on a daily chart? Yes. So price is going down. Let's go to the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, we had a breakdown below. Down there, it's hit those levels. So let's see if overnight, is it going to stay around those levels, or is it going to go sideways, creating a sideways market, and then we can see what happens tomorrow. So if there's a box somewhere here and the gate is still open, around Frankfurt Open, around this time, we can take this short. Okay, the euro dollar. The euro dollar is going up on the daily chart, or was going up. So we have a beautiful wave on the, let's delete the previous ones, and let's have a new wave count on this. So it's a very interesting kind of a count. Your wave 3 up has a complete count, so we can do that. Based on this, we have a 1, and a 2, 3, and a 4, and 5. But the problem with this is that the 5 seems to be bigger than the 3. So most probably then, based on that, most probably this is a 1, this is a 2, this is 3, this is 4, and somewhere down there is 5. Where will 5 end? So we will start at fib expansion, start of 1, peak of 3, bottom of 4, and there you go, that's our target zone 1. So this indicates that this wave up, when it continues, will go at least to 1.24 level. Good news for euros. So this is a pretty good setup one. Entry from here, add-on from here, and a third add-on should trigger over here, either today or tomorrow, up there. And this would be your first target to basically take some profits over there. Okay, so on the hourly chart, that same wave, it's kind of in that consolidation. So if you look at the daily chart, 3 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4 candle pullback around here, that is looking like so on the hourly chart. So what we want tomorrow is price to actually either set up box around this area, or on the 15-minute chart it might create a setup one around that level. So we'll see what it does around those levels. Once it clears those levels, it can go further up. So the pound Australian dollar, because the Australian dollar was going up and the pounds were going down, the GBP AUD really went down today. Right at the Frankfurt Open, we had this nice 2-candle pullback, which was really low risk. So if you entered on this, your stop loss would be just above these 2 candles. So your risk was very low. If I put these 2 on it, so let's have the risk reward ratio on it. And let's suppose you're still in it. You're sitting at 1:7.78. That's a pretty good trade here. If you had a slightly larger stop loss, then even then you have 1:5. Any strategy that can give you 1:5 will allow you to be wrong 80% of the time and still come out winner on the other end. So this kind of entries with very low risk and high reward are very sought after. GBP CAD, similar story, but very clear wave count on this. Let me do that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave is quite impulsive, can turn into a new 3. You can see within the wave 4, we also see a very clear A, B, and a C. It's very clear inside it. If we zoom out of this using 4-hour chart as well, if we go to the daily chart, what we see is that this move is actually inside a box. But now, today's date, it has actually broken those levels and it's now testing those levels. So if it continues to go down further tomorrow on the hourly chart, then there's a possibility that this new wave can become a new wave 3. Okay, so this is a famous setup. If it stays like so up to tomorrow, and that's 14th, I've gone to the 14th, the 11th of December over here. There we go, here. So let's bring it. If it stays sideways and we go to the M15 chart tomorrow, if it stays like this, we'll probably have a famous setup that we can take somewhere around these levels. So we'll add this to the watch list for famouses. Similar story about GBP CHF. The daily chart is breaking below these levels, still pretty sideways. 4-hourly chart has been creating these waves, and the hourly chart has created a famous setup. So again, it has this wave formation. The GBP, this one's slightly different. So it's not moving really down because the dollar yen is doing other things. So it's kind of in a bullish or sideways kind of trend at the moment on the daily, but it has a strong bearish candle which meets quite a few levels to the left. So this one is a little bit iffy. So the GBP New Zealand dollar started going down from the 9th of November and still going down today. There was a very strong move on it, just like the GBP AUD. Broke out here at Frankfurt Open and continues to go. So it's a famous setup for tomorrow. It can move during the Asian session, but if it stayed sideways, then it probably will move again at the Frankfurt Open. And this is our pound dollar now. So pound dollar can also move as well. On the daily chart, this is actually a ABC correction. I thought this was a PC. This usually indicates that the trend would resume, but it didn't. It has failed here at these levels again, and the Brexit talks are not successful. So it is kind of a sideways for now, but we'll see what it does tomorrow. It could produce a setup one for the M15, the M30, or even the hourly chart. So we'll watch it. New Zealand dollar CAD is not setting up right now. New Zealand dollar USD. So the Kiwi is hitting some levels. Let's go to the daily chart. Similar to Euro USD, it's going right now. So our longs are from here and here. This pullback could have been taken. This would be a setup on a 12-hour chart or a 4-hour chart. But this wave is too big. We will look for further setups on this. If it stayed sideways during the Asian session, but it's Kiwi, so most probably it will move. If it didn't, then it could probably give you a setup one on the M15 or the hourly chart. So have a look on this at this in the morning. Dollar CAD was a really nice setup because the daily chart is going down. It's constantly going down. So there was the initial setup. We took it here, switched or moved our stop loss to break even around this point, took some profit, price came back, got out, and then we got back in here. So we are short from here, then we added on this, and then I was going to add on here, but I didn't add on today. But we have two positions running, and this is running pretty nicely. So anything on the hourly chart, when the daily trend is going nice and clean like that, you can keep taking them. So this is a setup for us. This is a setup for us. This is a setup for us, which will turn into a rent. This would be a setup, but the box is too big. So cautiously, I didn't take it. And this one today, we took it from here and exited at 2R. Didn't actually trail candles. So that was a quick exit. So we got in short here. And then after that, 2R target was hit. So ideally, we should have trailed the candles. So the Swizzy is also in a downtrend on a daily chart. As you can see here, we could have gone short here and then here, but there you would get an exit here. This would not be a short because the box is too big. But this again is a short from the 23rd of November. Stop loss was there, and it's continually going down. So when the market is like this, a chart is like this on the daily, anything on the hourly chart, whenever it sets up with a box, we keep taking it. So there was a trade on this today. There was a trade over here. There was a trade here. And there was a trade here on this. Finally, the dollar yen. The dollar yen on the daily is pretty kind of sideways. It's downward, but still quite choppy. So not really trending. And that's why the hourly charts are not really smooth as well. The gold chart had a pretty extraordinary time up till this August here, and then it started going sideways. I thought there would be a setup point. It would probably break above, but it didn't. It broke here, and then the purple mingled with the gator, so then